Do you want to discover the secret to freedom and success? That's exactly what we're talking today in this book review, Outwitting the Devil. Stay with us. Welcome to your podcast, Online Marketing with Juan Llerena. To succeed in any entrepreneurial project, you need to get prepared and you must learn to learn, unlearn and relearn. In this podcast, we'll help you in 3 ways. First, giving you an opportunity to join a community of entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs just like you, to support you and learn from each other. Second, by bringing you for free tools, tips and tricks to help you advance your projects faster and to teach you how to let the world know about your products and services. Third, by providing you with inspiration, motivation, and ideas to continue your entrepreneurial journey. We cover subjects of marketing, sales, leadership, and entrepreneurship. Join our tribe of entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs and take charge of your destiny. What are we waiting for? Let's get started. Good morning, entrepreneurs at heart. Welcome to your online marketing podcast with Juan Llerena. Today is our 12th episode and it's probably the one before the last episode for this season 3. And before I forget, I just want to make sure that I thank you everyone for following us throughout this journey. I have mentioned before how much fun I had, and this has been a great opportunity for me to be able to, go through some books that I found being interesting and bringing value to me, and I'm sure to those who are interested in, so like self-help and finding that motivation and having those considerations as they're going through their own journey in their lives. And I hope that that's one of you. So I want to thank you for the time you have given us for the last 12 weeks, and I appreciate that for sure. Please comment with us if there is any particular episode that you like the most, if you'd like us to do this in the future again. It is important to know so we know where to spend the time that we're investing into creating this podcast episode that we hope that you're enjoying. Well, and without any further ado, we're talking about a book. It's a book review that I'm doing. It's a book written originally, and it was more like in the form of a manuscript back in 1938. It's over 70 years old, and this is called Outwitting the Devil, and is labeled as The Secret to Freedom and Success by Napoleon Hill. So Napoleon Hill, he had this idea. He's one of those probably best renowned people on these self-help ideas and practices that have helped so many people, throughout many years. And in his own life and in his own experience, he had these things that he started practicing himself after he had this aha moment, where he figured out that by compiling certain ideas and putting these thoughts into paper in his manuscripts, and which were never published by him, he realized that this could help other people too. And it was just like simple ideas that are still relevant today. That's why I picked this book. This book was later on in 2011 was edited and kind of updated in a way. It was more transformed in a way that is more relevant to nowadays, the way we do things and how people think. So it kind of contextualized this manuscript into ideas that we can see ourselves reflected in, or that we can get ideas that we can use to apply to our own everyday life. And that work was done by Sharon Lechter. So this compilation of things that we have to focus, that we have to remember, that we have to take into consideration as part of our journey to freedom and success were put in by these 2 people. So it's not that hard to realize that there are some common sense ideas that were brought up. And like for instance, the first one in this journey to freedom and success, right? Who doesn't want to be free? Being free doing either your own business, or being free doing the things that you love, being free being able to decide the projects that being able to choose the projects that you can work on, or where you spend your time and your efforts, right? And also being successful. And the definition of success is different from people to people, even for the same person. I can tell you my own experience that success for me is being taken different shapes in different colors throughout my life. When I was, my teens, success looked, one thing that it was different from when I was in my 20s. And now that I'm in my early 40s, success feels different and it looks different. That sensation, that feeling is probably more associated with kind of giving back, doing, good, being a good father right now for me, and being able to fulfill my dreams, also doing the things that I love, right? So like success for every person, it can be different. At some point, success can be to attain a certain level of income. Success can be to finalize the school, doing, studying something that you really have a passion for. Success for you can be, anything really, whatever it is that gets you up excited in the morning and that fills your heart with joy. That can be a measurement of success, right? So there are certain ideas on how we can get to that state of freedom and success without having to really, do anything like super extraordinary other than focusing into accomplishing the things that makes us happy. So for instance, and this is touching one of the early chapters of the book, is it tells us how fear leads our lives and our decisions and the things that we do and the things that we don't do, because of the main reason being failure. And failure is, in many cultures, is being recognized as something negative. It has a negative connotation. People tends to avoid failure. People don't want to face failure as such a result of trying to pursue their dreams. And this reason of having a negative connotation on fear is what holds us back in many different projects and entrepreneurial ideas that we have, even trying to even go to school, trying to pursue a degree or anything that we feel is hard work and we don't want to disappoint anybody, we don't want to disappoint us. Then we just quit dreaming and we quit pursuing those things that we really know will make us happy. So as a result, even in their own life, according to the book and to this book for the author, for Napoleon Hill, fear was one of the things that helped him, held him back from finalizing this book. But as he realized at some point, he thought of putting together all these ideas and all these experiences for him to write about this genre of self-help, which I really love because it does help me on my own, journey, like I said before, and I hope that it inspires you to have a good journey on your own life too, as you go in your different stages in life. Okay, so number one, fear. Is fear stopping you? Is fear not letting you reach your goals? Is fear paralyzing you? Okay, fear of failure. And failure, first thing, it can be seen as something negative. Failure is just another step getting closer to success, another step towards reaching your goal, another step towards getting closer to something that is better, to something that is good, to something that it can probably have an opportunity to change somebody's life or to resolve somebody's problems. Okay, so if you have a good idea, you have to try to pursue your idea and you have to be comfortable getting around fear. And fear, again, if you look at it from the perspective of being a little closer to the goal and knowing how not to do it the next time, then you should be happy and satisfied with that failure as long as it gets you closer and as long as you learn from it. Okay, so don't be afraid of failing. I know this is easier to be said than done, but the reality is that you need to try. You need to, even if you have a small entrepreneurial project, let's say you want to start your own business, you want to start making, something new, something as simple as cupcakes, maybe trying making shoes, trying to making backpacks, and if you are trying to sell your services and you feel you're not ready 100%, well, you need to start getting comfortable with the idea that there's always going to be some learning that will need to happen, and that you have that opportunity along the way to getting that experience and getting that knowledge taken care, because you're never going to be perfect. Okay, and if you are one of those perfectionists, well, I'm sure that fear of failure is holding you back. Okay, so the main idea here, the main key point, is to not let fear take over you and instead try to focus and figure out what are the tools that you need and those skills that you need, those abilities to be able to set yourself for success more so than failure, and learn from it. Another interesting point that I have about fear and fear of failure is you need to be surrounded with people that you can bounce back ideas, and they can also help you maybe identify or see things that you don't see, whether those are opportunities that you're not seeing, or maybe some roadblocks that you haven't been able to see yet because you're too excited with the idea, or maybe you don't have quite the experience. So it's always important that you surround with people that can help you, try to detect early failure at an early stage, but that shouldn't stop you from trying, from getting started and being able to pivot, to be able as a small business to learn from it and adapt quickly so you can produce the results that you want and being able to solve the problems that people actually need to have solved. Great. Another important point in the book, Outwitting the Devil, here and getting closer to freedom and success in your life is in getting what you want from life by thinking positively. Okay, you have to have a clear thinking that is a positive way of thinking and not the other way around, right? It's easier to become negative and it's easy to be surrounded by negative. So if you're that kind of person that gets up in the morning, that checks the news right away, that watches the TV news or the news recap on YouTube or whatever you have it, and you get all this negative news and negative information, and all of a sudden you feel like you're getting all your energy, positive energy and positive thoughts drained out of you, and you're starting in this pattern of negative thoughts throughout the day. Or if you're the kind of person that every morning sees someone who is very, very negative about anything, so it doesn't even matter what it is, that person will be negative about that. So what you need to do is just either surround yourself with people that are different, or let people know that they're being too negative, that they need to take a different approach. Maybe you can help them stop doing that negative talk that they have for you, or maybe you can even switch some of the activities that you have during the day. Yes, you probably need to be familiar with what's on the news, with what's happening, and that is definitely important, but at the same time, maybe that doesn't have to happen right away in the morning, right? Maybe you can just look at highlights from the headlines from the online newspaper, and maybe you can only dig into those that really are important for you. Okay, because believe me, if you don't get anything out of those news and they only said you in a negative tone, well, you're gonna be probably more upset. You're gonna get mentally blocked, and all your decisions are gonna be driven by those negative emotions rather than positive emotions. So it is important that you do ultimately get surrounded by people that will carry you up and in a positive way, which is related to another topic that they talk in the book about having positive habits. So if you don't have good positive habits, you need to develop those, and you need to surround yourself with people that have such habits, because that will make it easier for you to attain them, to stay within those patterns that will set your day, that will set your weeks, that will save your life in a good positive way to begin with. If you don't have good habits, you need to look at that. Maybe you can talk to people that you trust, people that love you, that you can talk to them, and they know your goods and bads, they know your ups and downs, they know your positives and negatives. So who better than them to kind of give you a perspective? So if you're going to ask someone to give you feedback on how you are and what are your negative habits or those bad habits that you might have, and if you need to hear from somebody else, although deep inside your heart, but let's say you need to hear from somebody else to help you go through that, well, you better be prepared to listen with an open heart, listen with an open mind, and don't become defensive. I know this is, again, hard to be said and done, and that's why this book is so relevant, because those ideas are still, in everyone's minds. It's hard not to become defensive, but if you want to get the best results and you want to get good information and something that you can actually turn it into something more actionable and something more positive for you, where you can learn, where you can grow as a person, as a human being, and possibly as a professional, you need to listen with empathy. You need to listen with an open mind. It is important also for those of us who want to be successful to recognize the big, huge opportunity that there is to learn from failure. Okay, so as we began this book review, failure is perceived as something negative, But what a lot of people misses and what a lot of people don't really see the point of failure is that huge opportunity for that learning curve to be better, to do better, to become a better person or a better business or a better customer service person, or anything really related anywhere in your life, to become a better student. If you know you didn't or not the best habits for studying and you're getting poor results, well, maybe you need to change that up, and shame on you if you don't do anything about that. So it is important that you right away now realize that successful people see the value of failure by learning from it. Okay, so as a key summary for this book, as a final recap, everyone, and we are all humans to begin with. Okay, so even if you see those powerful people that are very, very motivated, people that are very good leaders, people that seem successful, people that seem happy, first of all, you have to get in your head that everybody's human, that everyone has good and bad days, that people, that successful people that you see, they are you can be as successful as they are just by being you, but having good habits, surrounding yourself with good positive people, working on your own mental attitude and your own positive way of thinking, and also by learning from failure and from opportunities and taking a different approach at that situation of making mistakes. So you have the power to choose, and this is so true. You have the power to choose what's your attitude, what kind of voice you hear on your own head when you're about to start something new, when you're about to start even your day with the things that you normally do. If you choose to have a good positive day, believe me, your day is going to get transformed. Your day is going to be so much more positive. Things are going to be more fun. People are going to be probably more friendlier for you, and the day is probably going to even look brighter. Okay, so yes, we all have problems. There will be challenges. There will be moments where you will feel negative, but what it is very important is that you realize, and you get this really, really down on your DNA, is that you have the power to choose your state of mind, positive or negative. And having a good positive state of mind is your first and biggest stepping stone to get closer to achieving freedom in your life and success in your life as well. Okay, and this doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen just by saying it or by thinking about it. You will want to work on this every day. So my advice or my call to action in this case, it will be to you wake up every morning. Before you get up and off from bed, just take a moment and maybe start doing this once a week. Okay, once a week. And this is really simple. This is what I call the 3-2-1 mentality. So the 3 is for gratitude. Okay, so just think of 3 things you're grateful for. Okay, and if you're having probably not a very good financial situation, focus on things that you're taking for granted that not everybody can be thankful for. So if you can get up by yourself, if you have eyesight, if you are strong, if you have energy, if you are alive, if you had a good night's sleep, if you are, had a good perspective on the day, just be thankful for that. If the day is pretty out, if you can hear the birds, if you can hear the ocean crashing, because you're closer to the ocean, if you have a good view from your window, if you're next to someone that makes you happy, that fills your heart with joy, there's so many things you can be thankful for. There's no reason why we can be more grateful and thankful for. So again, start your day by thinking of 3 things that you're grateful for. Your family, by being healthy, because of your work, because of the opportunities you have by meeting people today, or by being alive, or by being able to see the colors on the day. And if the day is rainy, well, maybe see that as an opportunity to be grateful for, to be out again and be like a kid, and then just jump on the little paddles there, and just by being there and by just being you and just by enjoying life. Okay, so my approach 3-2-1 is first that. Okay, be grateful for 3 things before you get up from bed. Then throughout your day, choose to focus and remember 2 of those things that you have been grateful for. Okay, so if you said, well, today I'm going to be grateful because it's a beautiful day out, and I'm going to be grateful because I have a job, then just remind yourself throughout your day, when the stuff gets going and it's just harder to, you're getting tired and the day is more demanding, just focus into those, in 2 out of those 3 things that you were grateful for. And then the third step is to do a random act of kindness for somebody. Okay, somebody you know or somebody you don't know, it doesn't matter. Just don't expect anything in return. Just do something good for somebody else, and you'll see that you can be transforming maybe even somebody else's life. And believe me that just by doing that, by being grateful, by doing something good for somebody and knowing it without even telling them, you are going to be happier, and believe me, you are gonna become freer and you're gonna become more successful as well. Hey, and more people will like you, right? So, okay, I just want to leave you with that thought, 3 to 1, and please share it with everyone you know. I think it's a great idea. It's really simple. 3 thoughts in the morning for things that you can be grateful for. Just keep the 2 out of those 3 thoughts throughout your day to keep you going, and just choose one random act of kindness for somebody that you either do know or you don't know, big or small stuff that can cheer somebody's day. And you will see change and opportunities for you to be more successful, and to also become free from fear, free from many things that sometimes it's not only about money, sometimes it's not about being free from moving from one space to another. It's being free in your mind, free in your soul, free in your heart to do the things that you love. All right, my friends, so I want to wish you a great week. We'll come back once again with the final chapter of this podcast season, and I have a little contest there for you. So please come back and check it out. That will be on the next episode next Friday, so you don't want to miss that. And there will be something special as we get close to Christmas. So my greetings to you, a big hug, and thank you for your time, and please let us know how you like. Oh, and by the way, if you please comment on this podcast episode what you think about this 3 to 1. If you practice it, hey, please share it with me. It doesn't matter if it's this week, if you're listening to this podcast in a year, if you're doing the 3 to 1, let me know if that created any special effect on you. I would love for this to go something like super huge and see that we can touch people's lives in just around the world. So other than that, wish you a great week, and hopefully we'll be in your company next week on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.